Hi, this is Eric again. In this video, I want to show you how I made my version of do-it-yourself Oru Kayak in Thailand. The purpose of this video is not to spread the plans, but rather to share building methods and materials that I used, so others that are interested in making this or some other boat can get some inspiration or ideas or encouragement for building their boat. I did some research on the internet and found some plans from other people that have tried or made their version of the kayak. Interestingly, one source is the patent description of the Oru kayak. I chose one version, copied the image of the plans to AutoCAD, and drew lines on top of that image. Then scaled it to required size and started making paper and cardboard test models. I evaluated the look and foldability of the models, made corrections here and there, until I was happy with it. Then it was time to start with the real boat. I found and bought the material, and I borrowed a truck to get the sheets home. The sheets have now arrived home, and it's time to start working on it. The material is called coroplast, or corrugated plastic, and it's made of polypropylene. The thickness used is 5 mm or about 0.2 inches. Expectedly, the sizes available were not enough to make the boat out of one sheet, so I had to use 2 sheets, plus I had to add short pieces of 10 centimeters or 4 inches wide to each side. The sheets will be overlapped in the middle for the length of nearly full cockpit. This is also giving some stiffness to the sitting area. I marked the measurements from the plans to sheets, drew lines, and cut out the bow and stern pieces, one layer at a time. Here you can see the excess piece, similar of which was cut out from end of each sheet. The uncut end of this piece will also later be used to line up the 2 sheets for gluing them together. It is Sunday today and it is raining, both outside and inside. So it's a perfect day to work on the boat. I have managed to crush the inner structure at all the lines, so it is time to start folding the sheets. It is not an easy job to crush the lines at all. I tried a PVC foam piece first, which I had made at work for this. It seemed to work well, but it turned out it was the PVC foam piece that got damaged. Eventually I used scissor handles for this. I pressed on lines with such rolling movement, and slowly but surely I worked through the lines. Later I bought a big washer and made a pizza cutter type of tool, and that of course was the best for this job. So this is how my pizza cutter looks like. Initially it was a wooden handle, but now I found a plastic handle, so it's like a factory made tool, and this is how it works. And this is really efficient tool to do that. This is a little bit thinner material, but you get an idea, and it really works well. It's time now to glue the two sheets together. I have made some tests and found the best to use contact cement for this. Before smearing the glue, I roughen the surface with sandpaper. It is important to get the two sheets perfectly aligned. For this, I use a piece of material that I cut off from end of the sheet before as a guide or support. I attach it to lower sheet with double-sided tape and fix the upper sheet to it with duct tape. So the duct tape acts as a hinge. This way I know that when I lower the upper sheet after glue has dried, it will be perfectly aligned. The glue is not super strong for this material, but there is no force really tearing it apart. It's more like preventing the sheets from shifting. The glue has dried for about 30 minutes now, and it seems to be dry enough. So let's try to flip it over. Well, that was easy, wasn't it? I'm now dealing with those triangles which are to be bent in. I just cut the triangles out of the cutting board, and now I just glued them on with contact cement. It turns out that bending of this polypropylene sheet is actually a very tough job. So I made a cut with a knife through the top skin here, so it bends more easily. I bought a set of those clamps, and now I will clamp it down for drilling and putting the bolts on. The last bolt is going in now. Surprisingly easily. So this is the size of the boat fold. This is how the bulkhead will be made. I will glue it together from 3 layers. And the middle layer has cutouts for the flaps to keep the bulkhead in place. Glue has dried. It's time to to assemble. One layer green is crosswise, another layer is upright. I'm going to install the bulkhead fixing system now, and what I will do is I will glue pieces of sheet here, and then this part is going inside the bulkhead. Try the new bulkhead on. Bulkheads are in place. They're maybe not perfect size, but I think they will do. I have used some straps that are tip-over preventative straps for furniture. And this is how the boat is pulled together. The shape is pretty okay. For sealing seams, I've got such pipe insulation material. Now the question is if I need to use two or is just one enough. And I already tried one and it seemed like two would be a better idea. Okay. It's a special way of doing it. Yeah, it actually closes the gap. The aft side looks to be more easy to seal because there is no such curve as on the forward part. I was thinking, and I installed two more straps. One here where I have the cap, and another in the bow to pull the bow together. One of the missions for today is to cut out the cockpit. When I glued the two sheets together, I already cut out the cockpit on the outer sheet, but it seems that it's maybe a little bit too big. So for the inner, I cut it a little bit smaller. And then, if the size is okay, I just glue the piece back. I've kept the pieces that I cut out of it. So I've marked one, cut it out, used the cutout for template to mark another side. And now just cut it out again. this side. Now, it's a historical moment. We're actually can possibly get in here. Let's cut out. It's big enough. Actually, yeah, I can get in. I'm now gluing back the missing piece on top layer of the cockpit. The best way to smear the glue is with your finger, but the glue doesn't come off easily. For this, I use a piece of plastic bag wrapped around my finger, and when finished smearing, I just take it off and throw it away. I thought of another system, how to seal the top seams of the stern and the bow. So I cut a piece of plastic and I attached the pipe insulation to it. This way it will save time on assembling the boat, and also the seal will last longer. I have now figured out a way how I can tie down the straps so that I don't even need to cut them. Another day in the office. This is what I have prepared for tonight's little work. I have prepared the PVC pipes for the cockpit combing, and I've got cable ties for fixing them. A hacksaw is to cut off the excess of the pipe. I have taken some silicone to seal off the edge of the sheet that is exposed outside, and I have got a motorbike inner tube for sealing the ends of the boat. Luckily, there are plenty of these available here. And silicone will be in those edges here to prevent the water going inside the sheet. I took a drill for making holes, but actually scissors work much better. It is quick and easy, and I can just make a slot big enough needed for the cable tie. Last one. The dirty job. The silicone is now also done. Here in Thailand, there's no yellow silicone available, so I had to use gray. What I already had. I have prepared one end of the end sleeves with glue. Now I try to put it on. Glue. So hopefully dried enough. Okay. the inside of the inner tube out. Let's try to do the same with the bow. To flip it over and see what we can do. It's more or less clear what I have to do. So here's the mark. Cut it a little bit longer. I split it until that point. Now I will glue it on. Like this. I was supposed to do it. So I have put the end sleeves, I've got the straps, I've got a cockpit frame. Straps are nicely tied up. Now it's just to make the pedal. I have always wanted to make something out of bamboo, and now I have a chance. I will make a paddle out of it. The handle is made of bamboo and the blades are made of laminated cornet leftovers, and I'm about to attach it all together. And here we are, finished and ready to go. And what happens next, that you can see in the previous video.